Welcome, everyone, to the Freddie and Alyssa show. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that fun YouTube stuff. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to like the page, that would be great. And if you're listening to if you're listening on a platform, not my first time, if you're listening on a platform like iTunes and you want to leave us a 5-star review because you think we deserve it, that would be amazing. We've been putting up content now for over 4 years, and we couldn't be doing what we love without all of your love and support. So thank you so much for that. Let's hop into today's episode. I got a fresh outfit on, but before we do, a word from our sponsor. There's honestly nothing more important than taking care of yourself. Can we agree? Because if you're not feeling your best, you can't be your best. Sambucol helps you feel your best with powerful immune support, powered by nature's superfruit, black elderberry. And I just so happen to have some Sambucol right here, the gummies. I love it in the gummy form. I can pop one in the morning with my black coffee. So not only am I taking care of what I'm putting in my body with food and exercise, I love adding Sambucol into the mix. I have one gummy every morning with my black coffee. The gummies are packed with vitamin C and zinc, and I love incorporating it into my wellness journey. So if you want to add Sambucol into your wellness journey, you can get 15% off your next order of $9.99 or more at sambucolusa.com and use promo code Freddie and Alyssa 15 for 15% off. Again, to get 15% off your next order of $9.99 or more, you can do so at sambucolusa.com and use promo code Freddie and Alyssa 15 for 15% off your order. Now back to the show. So do you like my getup?
I love your getup, and I love that I would say once a month.
Yeah.
You kind of go and treat yourself. You go real big.
Big time.
Big time.
Big, expensive clothing from Marshalls.
I was going to say, tell me exactly what it is you do on this journey.
I don't ever think I'm going to get away from Marshalls because you get, like, this shirt probably goes retail for $45, $60, and I get it for $20. This one I got yesterday was not only at Marshalls, but was on the clearance rack for $10. But at one point, this shirt was probably like $50, $60. So why would I pay full retail? I think what's the benefit? You're a fashion person. Is it just become out of style? But a polo,
it's out of season, essentially. So maybe if it's a shirt that was maybe from their last line or last season, they go, oh, now we're going to have new stuff coming out. However, with stuff like polos, graphic design tees, I mean, no one's going to really know. But I find it fascinating. I think as humans, there's something, probably dopamine, that we get from getting a sale. Knowing that you got that off the clearance rack and you go, this was $10, originally $60, dang. Like, I really won there. How excited do you get when you get it? I love sales too.
I do. I mean, I've definitely worn a few very expensive items. Mm-hmm. When I was working on days, they did not skimp on wardrobe.
Right.
Like my button downs, there were times the tags were still on it. And I was just in a button down dress shirt and it was $300.
Yeah.
And it felt like $300. You can definitely feel the difference.
Of course.
But on something like a polo or something like some of these button downs, you can't really tell the difference. And I think for me, why I was so excited too, is I've been having to buy new clothes, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. My goal has always been to be back in a medium, and I'm back in a medium. I mean, for those of you who are watching.
Looking so good.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not tight. I mean, it's flowy. Like, I fit in a medium shirt, and I'm in a 32 pants again. And that's what I love.
Keep crushing.
I think that I was always looking to be, that's how I always grew up. All through my 20s, I was a medium in a 32 pants.
Well, you're back there, baby.
And I'm back there. And yeah, I think I'm 43 pounds down now.
Wow.
So I'm just very comfortable. I've been losing weight very slowly, but I think it's actually going to help me because the first couple months I lost like 2.5 pounds a week. Then I started losing 2 pounds a week, then 1.5 pounds, then a pound, then a half a pound. And now I'm around a half a pound or a pound a week. But I've done it over almost 7 months. Mm-hmm. So I feel once I get to the maintaining phase, I'm naturally doing it.
Sure.
Because if you lose 3 pounds a week, 2 pounds, 3 pounds for a long period of time, I feel you would gain it back because you can't sustain that. So I've been slowly doing it. So now these last like 6, 7 pounds, even if it takes me 9 weeks, who cares? I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm just happy to be back in a medium. But all of the extra larges I had, all of the larges I've had, I have to give to Goodwill.
Yeah,
So
you're never going back that way, baby.
No. So, and what do we have in the garage?
Oh, gosh.
How many totes?
We are throwing that away. We're not bringing that to our new house. Well, not
No.
throwing it away. We need to give it away. It's a good
But I like enough to clothe. It was just over all these years of me getting all those clothes.
Do you notice a difference in the way the clothes fit on you and hang on you? Is that something when you really feel it and you feel good?
Yeah, I think clothes are supposed to hang on you.
Right.
And when you have a little bit of side fat and a little bit of a belly and your booty's a little plump, the clothes kind of suck to you.
Right.
But when you are flat stomach and your shoulders are bigger, the shirt for men anyway, probably for women too, I don't know how that all works, but for men, there's like this flowiness around the waist. Like you can't really see the stomach, and then even behind, there's a little flowiness.
Okay.
And that's like what I consider swag.
Oh.
So I have the flowiness again, and I just can't believe it. Like anybody who's on their weight loss journey, I went through this the whole entire time, but I promise you, this went by so fast.
It really did.
There's days when I'm putting on new clothes or I'm doing anything, and I'm like, thank God that I started this 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to start this week or next month, by the end of summer or by Christmas, you're going to be like, thank God I started in March. Thank God I started in April.
Of course.
I'm going to let Benji down to do his thing.
Benjamin.
Maybe I'm going to hold him for a little bit though. But anyway, to not only do I need clothes because we're putting out so much content, I just don't want to have the same shirt all the time.
Of course
because
not.
I don't mind personally wearing the same shirt. But when we're on podcasts or I'm doing videos all the time, I want them
stories,
to be different.
You can't every day wear the same top, even though we do it from time to time. I will say that's why I love... so I've used Rent the Runway for, 10 years, 11 years?
That's your secret.
It's my secret sauce, baby. But that company started as, obviously, it was higher-end gowns, I guess you could say. So every Emmys that we would go to, I would order from that. And then eventually it transitioned and evolved into everyday wear, work wear, casual, vacation. And so I just got on the membership, and you can kind of swap out 4 to 8 pieces a time. And for me, especially with all the photos, with the videos that we do, with listing appointments and showings, you want to feel great and feel professional, but you don't want to wear the same stuff. And it's funny you said when you were on days, you notice the way things fit differently. And with Rent the Runway, they're higher end pieces, but you're just renting them. So when I put on a blazer from them versus, a $50 blazer I have in my closet, it's just such a different feel. It's such a different fit. And I don't know, it's just you really, really notice when you put it on, just every little intricacy that went into making that so that it would fit your body in all the right places.
Yeah, and I think that's what also gives you that classy high-end look, because we're in reunion all the time, and you and I will just look around and we're like, that guy has a polo and shorts. How do I know he's worth $10 million? But the guy next to him, same outfit, same type of outfit, doesn't look the same. There is something about the way clothes are cut, they fit, they lay, you can really pick it out. And but I do enjoy also having the clothes, because we've been very fortunate. We're working with 4 clients right now in this very moment. So we've been I think we've done showings the past 7 days in a row. Yeah. Especially on the weekends, we had a lot. We have another showing today. Today I'm very excited.
Me too.
I just feel like today could be the day. I don't know, but there's just something special about this place we're going to see for our clients today. But every time I go, I also want to wear, I want to be dressed up.
Of course.
And then I'll see a lot of different realtors, like guys will sometimes do like the suits all the time.
Right.
But I'm like, how do you do a suit in Florida? It's 90 degrees out.
I know.
So I was like, I think a polo and some khakis, or polo and like some, like what you would wear to a golf course.
Yeah.
I feel I can wear as a guy.
Yep.
To a showing.
Yes.
Because don't you just, when you think of a realtor, don't you always think it's a guy? Well, not a guy, but I'm saying for men.
Yeah.
They're always in a suit.
There, like you said, there are two different types, at least that I've seen. It's someone who's in a suit, really dressed up, or it's the polo. You can kind of get away with either one of those, but I've seen both.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on just the situation.
Yeah.
Like, depending on your clients, too. If your clients know you as a person or they know you on social media, you can be a little more casual because people know you.
And also, we're in Florida. It's different in Florida.
Like if we were going to some sort of, maybe developer's office and we were going to be the listing agent on 8 high-end properties and they don't know us, I think the suit helps with the first impression. But if it's a family member, a friend, a referral from a friend, or someone who knows us on social, the first impression is already there.
Yeah.
They're coming to us because they're like, hey, I like these two.
Right.
So I don't feel the need to have to show up in a suit. It almost seems like it'd be trying too hard.
You just got to go base by base, case by case. And it is really interesting to look at it, though, because I feel a lot of times with real estate, fashion kind of goes hand in hand with it. You see a lot of real estate agents. They love fashion. They love to dress up. Even the listing agent yesterday, she had everything. She was really just stylish and, put together. Obviously, other girls at my brokerage crush it with the fashion, but it's not something that is, I guess, unusual. Even on TikTok, a lot of real estate agents, a lot of the shows you watch, everyone loves fashion. So it could be just kind of a mix of that, maybe in personality traits of people who like to sell real estate, love fashion and presentation. Could be a link there.
Yeah, I think it's also just because you're selling a high ticket item.
Sure.
Even if you're going to go buy a piece of jewelry for $5,000, the person's dressed nice.
Yep.
So imagine a $400,000 house or a $2 million house.
Yeah.
It kind of seems, like that. Now he's going to scratch the curtains.
Y'all, every time we film.
In the morning.
It's only the mornings. Benji, I guess he hasn't kind of like gotten his energy out yet for the day. And he always likes to mess with us. He's now going underneath the curtain. I hear him scratching.
Yeah. While he's burying his bone back there. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this real estate journey because each and every day I'm learning something new. And even with us too, yesterday working as a couple. Because before, I was always helping promoting you as the realtor. And I was always, if I was showing up, because I never used to show up to your listings unless we knew the person before I was a realtor. And I would be the person taking videos, and I was kind of the helpful husband type thing. And I'm really big on brand. For those of you who've been following me for a while, even back in the day working on the show, I never knew how to answer people's questions. I'm very big on vocabulary and verbiage on the verbiage that I use because I think it's important. Words are important. And yesterday, the listing agent of one of the houses we were seeing, she asked, so you're a real estate couple? And we were like, yeah. But this is like, yet again, one of the first times people are asking that kind of question. Yeah. And my default has always been to go to like the humility aspect of it because I know we're crushing. But I've always just been like my go-to was, we're a real estate couple. I was like, but she's the face of the business. And, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of like her assistant. I just kind of work here, I take some videos and pictures, but I like downplaying it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of there's something beautiful about humility. And 100%. I think I learned that because even, working on a television show, that kind of comes subconsciously with a little bit of prestige and clout to a lot of people, not everyone. But if someone meets you randomly and they're like, hey, what do you do? And it's like, oh, I'm an Emmy Award winning television star and I'm crushing it. What do you do?
I used to hate
There's
when people
no
ask you
like
what
that.
do.
You sound like an arrogant person. So you kind of have to say, oh, I'm an actor. And you have to let them say, well, where do you act at? Oh, I act on a soap opera. It's like, well, what soap opera? Days of Our Lives? Oh, my God, my mom and I used to watch that. That's no way. I'm like, yeah, and, how long you been doing that? I've been, 10 years. 10 years? What? And then you, as the third party, would always say, and he won an Emmy. They'd go, what? But
Hype woman wife.
yeah, but because it's coming from a third party, it still creates that humbleness and you're making a good impression.
Yeah.
And I always just want people to feel comfortable. And now the same thing's happening in real estate or anytime we meet people, even at like lunch. Like we went to lunch with somebody in the industry not too long ago, and wonderful, nice person. And he did a lot of the talking, never asked any questions and of me. And I never brought up anything about what I do, what I did, like nothing.
Yeah.
But later, when he ended up doing research and looking at us, I think it made a wild impression on him because he goes, this guy on paper or end in life is accomplished, but was humble enough because I never asked. He never told the table what I did.
Right.
And I kind of like that. I like being underestimated. And then when people do their research on Instagram or Google or look up and they're like, I spent 2 hours with this person and I got to know him, before they get these ideas of like, oh, you're like a celebrity, or you were like, wait, what? And then it becomes about that.
Right.
So, you know, I kind of like that approach.
Yeah.
Is that overthinking it, or what do you think?
I don't think it's overthinking it at all. I just believe in life, humility wins always in everything that you do, and it stands out. So the one thing in life, if you're sitting with anyone, you will notice most of the time they want to just talk about themselves. You see that happen all the time. So when you can really learn to sit with someone and ask questions and have a back to forth conversation where you're both asking questions, you're both giving, receiving, adding value, I think that's the most important thing. You don't see that all of the time. And even for me, one of my favorite things is sitting with someone I don't know, because I get a chance to ask questions and learn. This person might have a completely different background, different experiences, just a different life in general. And I'm like, how cool, I get to learn something today about someone.
Yep.
It's just awesome. And it's even that John C. Maxwell thing I've said for years. I'll never forget. He goes, I love sitting at a dinner table with a bunch of individuals and going around and asking every single person, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Yeah.
Because then you're collecting all of the best pieces of advice anyone has ever received. And that's adding value to you.
Yeah, you kind of get a little more perspective
Yeah.
on different people, because most of the time when you're at a dinner, especially if you're with new people, the best thing you can do is just ask questions and genuinely be interested. You know, like, what can I learn today? Or what this person has knowledge that is going to be interesting and useful to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn and grow because I don't know what it's like to fill in the blank. Oh, what's it like growing up in Mexico?
Yep.
Oh, so what's that like? So what? Okay. Oh, so what's it like running a photography business? Huh. Okay. But I just, because it gives you more perspective of kind of what's going on, and it helps us navigate our lives.
Yeah.
So that goes way back to when we even wrote our book, The Pivot Principle, in 2018. One of my favorite sub-chapters, and I say this all the time, like the key to life in one sentence is just, or 2 sentences, I guess, or 4 words.
Come on, writer.
Be nice, ask questions. If you're ever in a situation you don't know what to do, just be nice and ask questions.
Yes.
And people find and people also will open up to you, because I feel so many people just think of themselves and they're the ones doing a lot of talking. So when you stand out and be the person who's just like, oh, that's cool. Well, how long have you been doing this? Well, what do you like about that? Yep. Oh, wow, that's so cool. It's like, well, do you find anything, like, what do you think is the most challenging about this? Do you see yourself doing this for a long time? Oh, do you have family? That's so cool. What's your wife think about that? Oh, that's nice. And the kids? So what's that like? So your kids now just turned 16. So what's it? Are they driving yet? What's that like being in the passenger? Do you remember when we were just driving and learning with our parents? That's cool. And people really enjoy chatting about themselves. Because even I do. If someone sat down and goes, so Freddie,
We know you do.
tell me about what it was like. But you'd be so surprised.
Tell me about the day you were born leading up to this moment.
Oh, please.
Please, someone.
Let me do it. Are you ready to order? Nope. We're going to need 3 hours.
We're
Water.
in 8th grade.
Yeah. Are you guys ready? I'm only in 9th grade. This is when it gets really long.
Oh my
Ninth grade till
gosh.
now.
But the same thing goes for when it comes to Be Nice asking questions. Even if you're in a job interview, if the employer is asking you, well, do you have any questions for us? You always should ask questions and be interested. It's just two people. You should, if this is a position that you are being interviewed for, aren't you curious about who this hiring individual might be? Maybe this is going to be your boss. What's their background? What are they like working with?
Yeah.
Do
you want to work for them?
Yes, you should be curious. Always be curious every day of your life. Ask questions.
That's one of the best tips too when we go in for when we're going to list someone's house and they're interviewing many people. That was a nugget I learned from some real estate guy or some salesperson when they're just like, so, I'm interviewing 4 people, like what makes you the best person for the job? And it's just kind of like, well, I'm not sure if I am the best person. What is the thing you care about most when selling your home?
Yep.
Because as soon as you go, oh, well, we're experienced, we're nice, we have a big social media following, and we have look at all the printouts, and it's like you're lost.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what are the few things that you like really care about. And it's
I'm not even sure if we're a good fit yet.
Yeah, because you also have to think too. I'm about to put 90 days in with this person.
Yeah. You got to make sure that you as the agent
want to take the job.
Them.
It's the same thing when you're going to go sit in and you're like, you're going to be the person I have to talk to every morning, or you're going to be in my email chain every morning if you're at a job. You're like, yeah, I want this job. I need the money. I'm working my way up in this job. But if you're going to talk to your boss and that's who you're going to deal with, it might not be worth it. Go to the next job and look for someone cool to work with. And that's how we are with clients. It's like, I'm not going to be thirsty about it. I just want to have a good time. Like, we're so blessed right now. Like, the clients we're working with are so fun.
Clients are amazing.
It's so
They're
fun.
the best.
It really doesn't feel like work.
But you know why? Because there's something very powerful in being selective of the jobs that you interview for or the clients that you attract. Keyword
That's what
being
it is.
attract.
It's attract. It takes away all the awkwardness.
Yes.
When people come to you.
Yes.
Because it takes away the sale.
But that's why the universe can pick up on energy. Everything in life is energy. And you even saw this with auditions. When you would go in and go, I need this job. Oh my gosh, I need it so bad. You wouldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you know? Days of your lives, you walked in, you were just, who knows, young.
Yeah, that was a time in the life. I got lucky there.
Strolling in. You're like, yeah. It's one of those things. That is attraction in life, everything. So just really focus too. If you're feeling you're not attracting the right things, well, what is it that I want to attract? What do I need to improve on to attract that? Energy, positivity, whatever it is, you have to envision it. And that's the whole manifesting thing, which is a whole nother topic for another day. But, your vibe attracts your tribe. It's true.
I've never felt more connected to being attractive when it comes to energies, because that is the goal. And I feel we always have it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we go out and we're trying to get stuff. It's like, no, create yourself as a person that people come to because you represent something.
Yeah.
And for you and I, we're unique. We represent something that certain people are like, they're just like me, and they come to you. And it also repels people that we wouldn't vibe with.
Yep.
If you're just your authentic, true self, you're going to find your tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ever think that you need, in any kind of sales job or social media or life, you don't need 10 million people's validation.
Oh.
You can build an insanely successful life with a few hundred, a few thousand like-minded individuals. Mm-hmm. Who are all just hanging out and doing something together.
Yep.
So it's like, focus on how do you become more attractive, energy-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And
you also, too, on that same note, how can I be more attractive energy-wise? It's a really cool, activity, you could say. When you are with an individual in person, think to yourself when you go there, how can I make it that I'm leaving this individual better off than they were before I came in? Is your energy helping them both? Are you both charging each other? Are you bringing a great positive energy? Or are you just unpacking problem after problem on them, and they leave going, man, I'm drained. Don't get me wrong. You have friends, you have family. You have to be there for one another. Life is not always amazing. We know this. That's life. But on the average daily, you always want people to look at your name when they're calling you on your phone and go, oh, I can't wait to talk to Freddie. Hey, what's going on, man? You don't want.
You don't. Yeah, you don't want to be somebody who's just like doesn't respect someone's time or just always wants to complain or tell you bad news. It's like just be chill. Be nice, ask questions, genuinely care, work on yourself. Being nice and positive is a very attractive thing in the world.
Yep.
You know, like even the other day when and I can see myself growing because you know, you all see me and I bring my professionalism, I bring my positivity, but naturally over the years, like I can get pretty pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and of course I can, because that's how acting is. It's like I was really good at with Sunny being pissed off because that's in me. And I've had to work on, like, even when we got hit like 2 weeks ago with our car, and it was such a mistake on their part. Like it was the most like bizarre, like worst driving that you could ever imagine. Yeah. Like even the guy's face who saw it happen, like we were all just like, did you just like run right into it? Like it was so, you know, but then I, for some reason, because I've been working on this for so long, I was like, being angry when they already got to feel like crap.
Yep.
What can me being angry or being rude, what could that add to this already terrible situation? So I go, are you okay? We were both okay. I saw they weren't running. And as soon as we both pulled around, then I saw when they got out that it was 3 women. They were older. It looks like the mom was in the car. Like she was probably in her 70s.
Yeah.
And then the 2 other ladies were probably in like their 50s, 60s. And I just kind of got out and just went with grateful of like, hey.
I was really proud of how you reacted, because I walked away to call the cops and you texted me and you go, be nice.
Yeah, because I've been in many situations where I chose not to be.
Yeah.
And then I feel guilty once I calm down emotionally and I go, why did I do that? Yeah. So I just thought, we're not hurt. This can happen to anyone. Yep. If this ever happens in another situation of someone we love or with us, how would I want to be treated if I made a mistake? Did she want to do that? No.
Of course not.
So I went through all these things. By the time we pulled out, I go, hey. And I was also like, it's probably practical to be nice, because if you need to call them, if something, you need more insurance information, I said, being an asshole will not in any way add anything positive to this scenario. So we just got out. Everyone was okay. We talked for like 30 minutes waiting for the cop to come and fill out all the paperwork. And we actually just chatted and got to know each other. And we went on our way. It's been incredibly inconvenient.
It has.
We've had a rental car now, and like we still haven't, like, that's a whole other story. But we've just been so busy. I don't even know what's going on with our car. It's at the shop. They haven't called us. We don't even know.
But I do have to say, empathy and doing the right thing always wins, because literally the next day after we got in this little car accident, I was at the grocery store and I'm putting my groceries away, and all of a sudden this huge gust of wind comes and I hear this guy shouting, and I turn and my cart was just going at full speed down this parking lot. Yeah. And so I start chasing it. He's chasing it. And we're like, come on. And it goes so far and it hits this freaking BMW. And it was going at a really fast pace because, it picked up its speed. And so he and I were just like, oh my gosh. And it was so funny because the only thing that came out of the bag was a wine bottle, and it just hit the floor and it didn't break. So I was like, this is going to work out. That's a good omen. So I end up going to my car. I'm so bummed because there was a little dent, and I was like, dang, like what an accident. But that's all it was. It was an accident. And I was like, hopefully this person isn't upset how we weren't, or, handled it. So I go to my car. I'm searching for paper. I'm searching for a pen. And I write this note explaining to her exactly what happened. I was like, please call me and we'll get this figured out. And all afternoon, I didn't hear from her. And then around 8 p.m., this woman named Glenisha calls me, and I'm greeted on the other end of the phone with this laughing, just joyous woman going, girl, you gave me just the greatest experience. She goes, I was laughing reading your note. She was like, don't you even worry about it. It's not a big deal. And we were just joking. And so I was like, you know what? Just as you told me, I'll never forget when we were at that accident. You're just like, be nice. You never know. If someone ever got in an accident with one of our parents, we would want them to treat them with respect.
Yeah.
And it was an accident. And so even in my situation with the cart rolling, it was an accident. So I just think energy is contagious. And you get what you put out there. You receive what you put out there. So always be good. Always be kind. And it'll come back to you tenfold.
It really does. And it feels better. You know, I never put this much effort into my emotions because it's never really talked about. But I've never had like the understanding that all we are is our emotions.
Yeah.
And we internally are choosing how we feel. If we allow outside energy to control us, then we have no control.
Yep.
So but I'm just like every day, I'm just working on that and being like, I can choose just to be happy.
Yep.
There's going to be times I'm sad, but it's also just like, okay, it's sad. Something devastating happened, but you have to be strong to deal with it.
Yep.
And then you have to, figure out a way to move on with life and be gracious and kind. So yeah, it's just a big learning experience, but I feel that's the way to go through life.
Yeah.
Is just to be nice to people, and the
nice
world
and ask questions.
will give you that energy
I
back.
will say too, I've always been really intrigued and attracted to learning more about Buddhism because all of the principles are about enlightenment equals happiness, and it's all within you from what I've seen and heard. And it's just something that I feel they really, really have tackled that.
Yeah.
You'll hear stories of people going, hey, I left my crazy life and I went to become a monk for 7 years. And they come back just with these remarkable stories because they essentially found themselves or fulfillment or happiness. So, yeah, I've always been interested to learn more because I don't know enough to speak too much about it. But from what I have seen,
it
seems on par.
It's all coming from within.
Yeah.
But we're going to get going, get everything ready here for our journey up north today to go look at that place. And we'll be back here next Wednesday. I want to thank you all for your love and support, and love you. All right. See you next week.